After a lengthy struggle, King Hor-Aha has managed to unite the twin kingdoms of Upper and Lower Egypt and proclaimed himself Pharaoh over all Egypt. As a sign of his absolute sovereignty and the establishment of this, the first dynasty of Egypt, Hor-Aha has ordered the founding of an imposing capital at Men-nefer, from which he may govern this fledgling nation. Because of your family's many generations of faithful service to this land, Pharaoh has chosen you to be the architect of this splendid city. Because the capital is the very symbol of our kingdom, its citizens must enjoy a quality of life heretofore unknown in this land. To this end, you will eventually need to trade with other cities in the realm and to provide a higher standard of education for at least some of your citizens. You must also build a sacred mastaba tomb for the city's nobles.
Okay, Men-nefer. This is kind of what I consider to be the first real mission in Pharaoh. So begin by planning for areas of housing and industry. This allows every building connected to the road to have automatic access to workers. Yeah, makes the game more accessible and more fun for everyone. Fantastic. So we'll continue on. Cool. So the first thing we want to do is pause the game and look around. We have reeds up here, so we know malaria is possible on this map. Nice big floodplain, and loads of space on this map as well. There's mostly desert, as you'll see kind of as we go along. A lot of these maps have quite scarce grassland. But I think to start with, we might make a housing district over here. We do have the Master Tomb down here, available to us later in the mission. But for now, we need to reach the spacious apartment level. And we also, I believe, get trade at some point during this. But until then, we have to work with this small, I say small, not too small, reserve of demons. So we'll go ahead and we'll start our housing. We can plan for the courthouse as well. We will need it at some point. We got the police station there. We need the apothecary, which we can throw down there. And what gods do we have? We got Shrine to Bast, Osiris, and Ptah. I'm gonna put all three, and we're just gonna tuck them in here. And if we look at our overseer of the temples, Ptah is our patron, and so we'll put a temple to Ptah over there again, as we did before. And we'll pop that in there. Wonderful. Cool. And in terms of our food, we are going to want some food. So I'll put in... gonna have papyrus later up there, so I think probably... Yeah, this is fine. Something like that. I think that'll be fine for us. And we'll grab 1, 2. Yeah. Grab a storage out there. Put our beer production over here. We will need 2 worker camps and a roadblock there. What I'll often do is put a get order over here, so I think we'll do that. So on here somewhere. That looks fine. This looks fine. Let's just go. And we are waiting for them to come in. So this storage out here, it's currently set to get on a few of our kind of commonly used goods for our people. I'm just going to connect that with a road now. So get up to half of chickpeas, quarter of pottery, quarter of beer. So they'll run over to the storage yards over here, and they'll pick up all that stuff, bring it over here, and then our bazaar trader can go just over here to grab that, which is good. This is really useful when you have like multiple neighborhoods around here that are really far removed from your industry. You can just set them to grab from those warehouses, storage yards, I should say. Wonderful. And yeah, these guys are just patrolling in this area, keeping this going. I may actually need a second storage yard for my chickpeas. Don't want to put it there because I may need to put roads in here. Probably not, to be honest, but oh well. And accept all chickpeas, that's fine. And I'm going to try to plan out my barley. Or breweries, I should say. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. And we'll just close this loop a little bit. I don't want them wandering that way. Although I could just do that. I do need to get my bazaar. So we'll throw that in. And we'll grab the clay pit. Up here should be fine. Just close that there. We've got a secondary loop there. We're going to set this one to buy chickpeas. Now, we're probably short by a few workers, 48. It's not too bad. It's pretty manageable. And these guys are now going to get the chickpeas. Which is good. I've got quite a few chickpeas there as well, which is really nice. Now we are okay for the gods. They are amiable towards us, which is good. And these houses are starting to upgrade, and they're saying that it's not pretty enough for them. So let's give them a few gardens to work with. Hopefully that will encourage them to level up. City sentiment. So basically how happy people are with your place, with your city. So wages, taxes, unemployment, and slums. To try to avoid too low wages, too high taxes, too high unemployment, and also try to make your houses as upgraded as possible. So just try to make sure everything's balanced well enough. And we normally do a relatively good job at that, just with the base level of things, but sometimes it does need a little bit of tweaking. And speaking of tweaking things, let's just go ahead and add in a couple things over here. So we do need entertainment now. So we'll put those in, as well as the firehouse and the architect's post, just along this strip here. And it's saying employees needed. It's spamming me saying employees are needed. And that hopefully should start chilling out a bit now. So I think here we can set these to buy pottery. We don't have reed gathering yet. We shouldn't be too far off. Hopefully, once we've got some pottery in the bazaar, and we start upgrading these houses, we can make our push towards the papyrus industry, and then from there we can start trading stuff. And this is just the game spamming me with unemployment, employees needed, and the 9-kilometer prediction as well. All things that we don't really care too much about right now. Just put a small statue there as well. Education. Perfect. Here we are. Cool. So scribal schools can educate the people in your city, so long as you have papyrus. reed gatherers are the first steps. They gather reeds from the marshes, and then the papyrus makers will turn it into papyrus for us. So let's go ahead and get that new industry set up. But first, I'm just going to add one statue right there, and I hope that upgrades. It does. Perfect. Cool. So we'll just do an offshoot from here. Cool. And there we go. Looking good. Except up to a quarter of that. And we'll stick in our scribal school in here, which we do need for the next step of the mission. Introducing trade. Perfect. Wonderful. So trade is probably the most reliable way of getting money. We'll need to import bricks, but we can sell papyrus to our neighboring cities. So we'll go in here and let's have a look. So this is Neken here, which is our previous city. And they buy papyrus. They sell clay, pottery, and beer. And Powedget, another one of our previous cities, sells bricks, clay, pottery, reeds, and figs. So we should open that one up second. We'll do this one first. And we'll start by going to our Overseer of Commerce. And in here, we can set up our papyrus exports. So whenever we're at 100 or 100 or more, it'll just export as much papyrus as possible. And in fact, we have a little bit of a bank of reeds here. So I might throw in a couple more papyrus makers in there. We're also going to need a second storage yard for bricks. And I think we'll just throw it down here. We'll say accept all bricks there. Population unemployment at 21%. So we should probably just go ahead and open that. Go into here and say import to maintain, and we'll start with 800 because that's what it requires to unlock the master tomb. And then once we have that started and placed, we can get the work camp workers over there during the off season to start building on that master. So here comes our first trader. And he's going to offload some bricks for us. There we go. Nice load of bricks in there. So we require the bricklayers guilds to build the mastaba. And we can employ as many bricklayers guilds as the economy can support, as long as we have enough bricks to keep them busy. So that's cool. And then the work camps will send out the laborers to basically get the bricks from the warehouse and then drag them all the way to the monument, wherever it may be. So let's go ahead and we'll place our monument. I mean, it's pretty small. The blueprint's pretty small. Let's just keep it relatively center here. I like the way it looks when it's kind of facing in that direction rather than this one. Don't know why, but I do. I think it's to do with the shadow on the door. I like it kind of being in shadow like that. So I think we'll do that. Oh, I just clicked off something there. End of tutorial. There we go. So you've reached the end of the tutorial. It's up to you to finish Men-nefer's mastaba. Make sure you balance your imports and exports. And there'll be no one to hold your hand from now on, which is great. So cool. So we're left to our own devices now, which is ideal. We're going to run a road just behind this for no real reason. I'll just put a roadblock there. We don't need to put down bricklayers yet because the laborers will need to go over there first. But they're a bit busy with the farming right now. We have some people leaving homes. We have no supplies of food. What's going on there? Okay, we need more food. This is not the time of the year that I want to see that message. Another storage yard for chickpeas here. And in fact, I'm going to get another one just to be safe. Don't need to, but here we go. And we need to get more work camps. So I'm going to put them on this edge here. And again, they'll be serviced by this loop. And so that's kind of why they've got so much stuff packed into a small area. It's because they are being served by the existing firehouse and architect's posts. Now I'd really like for a trader to come past. Might just check how much have we already sold. None yet. But we've bought 800 of the 4,000 bricks that we can buy. Might increase the amount that we're buying on brick. We'll go up to half a warehouse, I think. They're quite expensive. 105. We've got 600 papyrus right now. Papyrus 400. So that's 400 papyrus. That'll be about 800 Deben. Although actually, that's what they paid. You would get 4 times 165, which is 660, I think. I do quick maths in my brain. City unemployment's kind of high. 11%. And how many actual workers is that though? 58. So you know what we could do? So these work camps take up 20 workers. So we could do this and just grab 3 work camps here. And people are coming in here and there. We actually have a common residence now. This one here. I'll just do that. So this is the highest tier of housing available to us currently, I believe. I don't think we can go further than that on this mission, although. Let's see. You're saying it's still not pretty enough. What's up with that? Yeah, it needs access to a dentist. So dentists will come through later. But that's okay. People are sort of leaving and then coming back.
I can't find a place to live. I can't find a place to live.
And I think it's because the food stocks are running out in these houses. But that's fine. They'll replenish. We've got plenty of food coming in this season. So we'll just speed through a little bit as these workers come to work on the master batum over here. Go into here, change this to import the full warehouse now. So we've got papyrus up and running, making some money from that. We can start, you know, kind of getting our monument built. We've got way too much beer, but we've got no buyers for it. I thought we would have a buyer for it, but apparently we did not. So that's fine. We'll just suck up a little bit on that. Harvest season is coming up, and we're just going to see everyone's got a place to put it, which is great. That's what we were hoping for. Holy moly. I don't think we're going to run out of food anymore. That looks real good. Fantastic. Wonderful. So everything is dropped off. And these guys from here are actually moving some more items over. This is now fully stocked with food, beer, pottery. It's great. And they'll just keep going back and forth and restocking that storage yard. Money is getting really low because we've just bought up the whole warehouse. And that costs about... it costs about 3,000 Deben, a bit more than, to do that whole warehouse. So we'll chill out on the brick production for now. And I think it's now time to throw down some bricklayers. So we've got unemployment at 1%. We'll build 2 of these, we'll see how it goes. 14 additional workers required. I think actually 2 is fine for this. As the game goes later and we start building like pyramids and that kind of thing, we'll have to put down more than just 2. But for now it's fine. Perfect. And there is the first layer of our master tomb done. Looking very nice, facing towards the housing. And I think I could invest a little bit into plazas to upgrade some of these. It might give us a couple more workers to work with. Yeah, that seems good. We'll look into our overseer. People are immigrating. Current housing can hold 112 more people. So if we take that 60% number as a rough kind of guideline, that's what, 65 to 70 people who can work coming into the city, which is great. Now, we are in January, so I normally check in December how we're doing on our exports. Are we meeting the cap? I'll assume that we are not meeting the cap and that we do have room to do more exporting. So we'll build 2 more papyrus makers here. Just kind of increase our papyrus production because that's going to pay for our monument. I could actually go for a village palace in this game. That's not a terrible idea. Because we do sort of have enough workers now to, at a high enough level to probably justify doing this. So the tax collector will probably get a little bit of tax. There you go, 302 demons in tax. And you're buying, you bought 800. Nice. That's what we want. So we're in October. I'm going to check this. Okay. So we're pretty close to the cap in terms of how much they'll buy every year. So we're at 2,400. They'll buy a maximum of 2,500. So we'll just chill out. And then probably next year we'll resume the brick trade. So we are just waiting for our next load of papyrus to go out to the trader, which should bring us up to about 1,000. And then from there, we should be able to get all the bricks that we need, I hope. We just need 2 warehouses more, right? So actually, let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. It'll be fine. It's a little over 3,000, and as we go through, 3,000 per storage yard that we fill up. And as we go through this, we'll have the papyrus trader coming along to buy papyrus and pulling us out of debt. And here he comes. So we'll just see how much he buys. All of it. Wow. He just bought 1,500 units of papyrus. That's going to pay for an entire storage yard full of brick. I hope. As soon as he comes, there he is. That him? I think it should be him. There we go. That's half a storage yard. We're in December. There'll be no more exports going out, and probably no more imports either, because we've probably hit the max on both, I would think. But now we're in January, so all that gets reset. And so we should start seeing our exports go out and our imports start coming in as well. And hopefully the imports don't bankrupt us. Here he comes. Okay, so that's about 2,000 taken from our bank. But the next one hopefully should be a papyrus merchant. We're just looking out for it. Just taking a sweet time coming here. So Nekhan are coming to buy my papyrus, which is perfect. And we've got a couple of months lag with the brick here. And the papyrus takes us out of debt, and he bought half a warehouse full. I'll barely make back my cost. It's perfect. And we still, even with just one reed gatherer, supplying 6 papyrus workshops, we still have a surplus of reeds. And we're still at the maximum level of reeds that we can have in our storage yard. It's crazy. Cool. And we're at max again. In our storage yard. And there we go. Master is now finished. Perfect. So now that's done, it's time to look at our objectives. So what else do we have to do this mission? So, probably actually the easiest way to do that is to go to the ratings overseer. So we need 102 more population. That's all we need. So we'll just put down some houses over here. In fact, I don't want to do it right there because it might take a negative because of the adjacency to the to these guys here, the common residence guys. And we'll just put a firehouse and an architect's post. We'll just do a big row of housing here. Just like that. People will come in and then we'll hit 1500 pretty quick. So no need to really make a new neighborhood for this. We'll just let them come in. Perfect.
Congratulations. You have built a capital worthy both of the living and the dead. And by developing trade relations with other cities, you have introduced your city to the world stage.
Cool. And there we go. So that's Men-nefer. Done. Hiya, Nedumvoy here. Thank you so much for watching. Likes, comments, and subscriptions really help out the channel, but if you'd rather move on to my next video straight away, you can find it on screen now. We'll see you in the next one.